Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janicia, and in this video I want to talk about how depression is not your friend. Now, there is this huge push and this huge, mental health awareness that's going on, and I somewhat love it because it's getting rid of the stigma of speaking up and saying that you're dealing with something mentally, whether you're really struggling with anxiety or depression or some type of worry or just anything going on with your mind, right? You're not always okay, and you're not crazy for, being down ever so often, right? And so I love that. I love that people are speaking up. I love that they can go forth and seek help and they don't have to feel ashamed or alienated, right? But in some sense of it, I don't like it because it's kind of giving depression a right to stay and be comfortable. Okay, so I want to explain more of what I mean throughout this video, but I'm just opening it with that statement. We allow depression to be in us and to be comfortable and feel at home and at peace, and no need for it to leave. As long as we can manage it, have some type of management system, have some type of pills going on, have some type of regular therapy, have some type of, aware of our trigger points, having some type, all these systems, set up for it to be under control, because I don't believe that a lot of these systems are set up for it to be erased, right? Or eradicated or cured, just managed, kind of like a hospital. And for some sicknesses in some different areas, don't act like I'm saying this for everything, but in some situations, most of them, you kind of go to the hospital to get treated, but not cured. Okay, there's a reason why for years and years and years they're always trying to find a cure for this and raising all these billions of dollars and never find a cure for something, because I don't want to go into conspiracies. I don't really think a lot of these things are set up for people to be cured, but more managed, right? And so when we talk about mental health and talk about depression, it's a way to approach it and trying to get rid of it and trying to say this is not something that you will struggle with for the rest of your life. This will not have you and overtake you and stop your relationships and your family and your work, because you always go through these depression cycles, and it kind of puts your life on hold when you go through depression. If not, if it comes in cycles or if you deal with it all day, every day, right? So it's like controlling it and curing it. I don't think anybody would really confess to this, but I see it a lot, and it's usually we find some type of comfort and identity in the things that we struggle with. And it's kind of like you hold it like this and you don't want nobody to snatch it away. Somebody be like, oh, you can get rid of that and that can get cured. You're like, oh, you're like, I'm okay with it. Because one, you won't believe it. You'll be very skeptical of any kind of cure. Or when somebody talks about it as if it can be eradicated, you're kind of like, you don't know me. You don't know my struggles. You don't know how hard it is for me. Maybe your depression was easier than mine. So I'm gonna keep it's this type of mindset where you want to keep it. God says you don't have to keep it. If you want it, you can have it. But if you don't want it, you can let it go. It can be free. You can be cured. One of the ways that God really opened my eyes as far as healing, physical healing as well as healing of depression, was the story in John 5. And this was a story about the pool of Bethesda. This was the place where the sick would come and they would kind of congregate around this pool, because ever so often an angel would come down and stir up the waters, and whoever was to jump in first would get cured. Now, Jesus is walking by the pool of Bethesda. The fact that he was even walking near there showed that he wanted to heal someone, but he encountered a man, and the Bible says that he knew the man was sick for a long time. So remember that. He knew that he was sick for a long time. So Jesus approached this man who had an infirmity for a long time and said, do you want to be made well? And you would think that Jesus was asking a rhetorical question, but that question really showed the mindset that this man had. So the sick man answered and he said, sir, I have no man to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I'm coming, another steps down before me. So this showed me that when you live with something long enough, and when you surround yourself with people who think the exact same way, it starts to develop a culture and a way of thinking. And you start to develop excuses for the things that are affecting you. And if you listen closely, you'll see that the man had come to terms or settled in his mind that he was going to live with this infirmity for the rest of his life. It's like he was at the pool of Bethesda. He had some form of hope and some form of faith, but really when Jesus asked him a question, he really didn't believe that he would ever be healed. Jesus said, "Do you want to be made well?" And he could have just simply said yes, but instead he gave an excuse. So act as though Jesus is saying to you right now, "Do you want to be made well?" And unknowingly, people would probably reply, "That's not possible. I've never seen anyone overcome depression. It won't last long and it won't happen for me." And so by thinking that way, you're basically saying depression is mine. I want to keep it because I don't think or believe that there's any other option or way. And you keep depression as your friend. Stop saying my depression because it's not yours and it was never meant to be and it shouldn't be yours any longer because that's not what God gave you. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For I have not given you a spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind." God's will for you is a sound mind, not depression. In Isaiah 26:3 says, "You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you." You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. You don't have to have the answers of how long will you be depression free and if it will even work for you, if it's even possible. You never seen this done. None of the research that you have done has suggested that depression can be cured, just managed. You don't have to come with those answers, you know? You don't have to know everything. Just believe and open yourself up to be willing to let it go. And guess what? This comes with a free depression back guarantee. If you try God and, the things I want to talk about in the next video, then you can have your depression back. You know what? If you want to keep it, you can keep it, okay? It's not going anywhere if you don't want it to. But if you would dare to dream and dare to believe, like I did, eventually, because I was the same way. I was holding on to it. It was my depression. It was, something I had never seen go away. Over the 10 years, it had never, lessened any bit. It all only increased. So I had little belief in it. But I learned a lot of things that has revolutionized my heart, my way of thinking, and I do not get depressed anymore. And it's not even like my situation has greatly changed. It's not like, oh yeah, because stuff started working out for you. Nothing really changed, but this changed. This changed. This changed. God shows over and over in his word what he desires for you, what he wants your mind to be like, how he wants you to be. And you have to choose what you would listen to. Whatever you believe will become your reality. Like I said, if you want your depression back or you want to keep it, you can. That will be your reality. I didn't want that depression back anymore. This is my reality now. Depression free. Not to brag or anything, but I literally, it could not stay with me no more. I was done. I was done going through these cycles. I was done losing money from not working. I was done, blowing off friends and family because I didn't feel like talking or being around nobody. Like, I was done with it. I was done being on the borderline of suicide. I was done having thoughts thinking that I wouldn't even be in this world anymore. And I didn't want that anymore. Making friends with depression is like making friends with someone who wants to kill you. Because depression led to suicidal thoughts, which led to suicidal plans. We're going easy on a mindset and a spirit that wants to kill us. And if you don't see the world as spiritual, then this probably would make no sense or not apply to you. But when you see things as spiritual, you know that there's God's spirit and you know that there's evil spirits, Satan. So I just gave you scriptures and there's a lot more. So if you know that it's not God's will and his spirit that is feeding you suicidal thoughts, so then who is feeding it to you? And to me, there's no gray area. There's no, sometimes, the Lord gives me things because, he wanted to teach me something. God didn't give you that, okay? If God gave you that, that's bad parenting, okay? You won't praise a parent for giving a child a disease or for beating them up and abusing them and telling them that's where they're good. Like, No, that's child abuse. I'm not dealing with nothing less than what he said I can have. John 10:10 says the thief comes only to kill, steal, and destroy. But I have come that you may have life and life more abundantly. That's what Jesus says. So the enemy's plan is to kill you, to steal from you, and to destroy you. And if he can't literally destroy your physical body, he will get anything else he can take. Your finances, your job, your health, your mindset, your children, also your career or your marriage or your relationships and your work, your voice, and everything that God has for you. So what I'm trying to get you to realize is there's no benefits for depression remaining as your friend. There's no benefits to holding on to something that wants to destroy you. It's like this righteous anger of you just being pissed off and like, you're not finna have everything in my life. Like, I'm done with this. And it's not like you wanted it to come. And I'll talk about more ways of how depression comes to you and how it enters and all kind of different things on my next video. But this one, I just kind of wanted you to get fired up and be like, no, I say no, like no more beating me up, no more stealing my life, no more destroying my life, like no more. Like a lot of things in the name of mental health does not want to heal you or see you transformed, but just kind of like medicated or just, rocking you to bed and soothing you and, keeping it under control or sustaining you. Like, sustaining is not a good word. Like, it's not. If you told someone that you're just sustaining your marriage or sustaining your finances, like, you would kind of feel sorry for them. Like, oh, it's not growing. It's not getting any better. It's just, staying on life support. I'm so sorry for you. Like, I don't want to have a life on life support. I don't want to have a mind on life support. I don't want to have a body on life support or my finances on life support. Like, I want abundance. I want everything that Jesus said that is mine. Jesus said that I have come that you may have life and life more abundantly, not life more sustained. Not life on life support, but abundantly. So once again, I made this video to basically challenge you on what you thought was possible when it comes to depression or mental health. And you can give me 27 reasons of why you should embrace depression and how it's, important to, staying on top of your mental health and why it's healthy to think that way. Or you can dare to believe and use faith that God can heal you and restore your mind, and he can set you free and have your mind in perfect peace. That idea of perfect peace is so foreign to so many of us. It was for me for a long time. Like, you mean perfect peace? You mean like not hating myself? You mean like not feeling like I have so many regrets and mistakes or I'll never be anything or, my life means nothing? You mean I can actually wake up and not think that? Yes, you can. I don't know, this video may have encouraged you and got you revved up, or it may have anchored you and got you revved up as well. Either way, I want to talk about it because I don't think too many people are approaching it this way. And it's possible. You can believe it is or not. But I only know my experience and experience of others who have overcome it to know that it's possible. And so if you've never seen somebody got healed from depression, you seen me. So boop, there it is. Give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you or resonated with you. And in my next video, I really want to talk about how to overcome depression. So if you want to see that, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you're with me, that you want to move past this. And I will see you on the next video.